As an immigrant, do you feel worried that your children may not grow up with the same belief system and cultural values your parents have taught you in your home country? If you feel that, believe me, you're not alone at all. There are a lot of who feel that, when they move to the new country, mainly in the Western world, such as Europe, UK, or America, when they move there, they want their kids to integrate there properly, and for that they actually support them, encourage them to learn the new belief system of that part of the world, those cultural values as well, because they believe it will help them not just integrate but to progress in life as well. But at the same time, they are also worried, and the worry is, if my kids are only learning those Western sort of British values and belief system, and if they're not really taking into account my ethnic values, my belief system, which my forefathers have taught me in my home country, then what will happen to our relationship? I mean, as a parent, I feel sometimes if my kid is not able to learn these belief systems, she won't be able to understand me. She might not able to listen to me, connect with me, see the way I see the world. And when I feel that result, the outcome I see is very harsh, because then I feel alone, that if even if she comes to me, she won't be able to connect with me or even talk to me. And for me as a parent, that is not acceptable. It's just very sad. So, like any other immigrant parent, I started asking myself, what should I do? Steps I need to take to make sure that my kid is not just learning about the Western or British cultural values or belief system, but also mine as well. How should I create that balance? And for that, I started reading, because I love reading. So I started reading books, hoping that it will give me some answer. Now, just a few weeks ago, I was reading this one book by the name of Living with the Gods by Neil McGregor. In that book, the author, the argument, this author is giving, is really changed the way I see the world or different belief system. Now, in his book, he argues that there are two major reasons why people all around the world follow different religions, different belief systems with different cultural values. The first reason is very philosophical one, which basically means that as humans, we are thinking animal. We think, right? And we think about questions such as who we are, what is the purpose of our existence, since we are already in this world, what sort of relationship I should have with the world and the people within it. What will happen to me when I'm no more? What Neil McGregor argues, that all these religions you see, all these beliefs you see, they tend to, one way or another, try to answer these questions for you and help you as human being to make sense of the world you live in and your place. Second reason he said that people follow religion is because there is a lot of issues, struggle, anguish in their life, and they feel that there's lack of control. Sometimes if they resolve some issues, the other issue comes up as well. So just to give you an example, if you are young, one of the major issues you might have is, I don't have a job, I need to find a job. Once somehow you're able to resolve this issue, you have a job, another issue comes up, and that is, my boss is not happy, my colleagues, I'm not able to work with my colleagues. Somehow, if you're able to resolve this issue, the other issue comes in, and that is, I'm not able to progress in my career. The similar thing happens in your personal life as well. If you are single, you want to get married or at least get into a partnership. Once you are married or in a partnership, you're not happy with the other person. You feel that that person doesn't really understand me or help me or support me. The other person feels the same thing about you as well. And now, somehow, magically, if you are able to resolve this issue, which a lot of us can't really resolve, then other issues comes up, and that is, should I have kids or not? Or for some reason, I can't have kids. Or if you can actually have kids, then other issues, something which I'm experiencing right now, is how to raise them, how to make sure that they actually listen to you. Neil McGregor argues that we as humans, we are continuously confronting ourselves day and night with all of these issues, and we want someone to resolve them. We want someone to guide us to resolve all of these issues and give us eternal peace, happiness, ability to feel not just happy, but also to give that happiness to our kids as well. And because of these reasons, we actually follow these different religions, these different belief systems, these different cultural values. And when I was reading this book, that something clicked in my mind, and that was, yes, on surface, We as humanity, we follow different religions, different beliefs, different cultural values, but our concerns are the same, our worries are the same, our aspirations, our motivations, desire are the same. And that is something that unites us and gives me this confidence that we can create a better world, not just for us but for our future generation as well. Now, just to give you one example, I live in the UK, and we have a very diverse community where I'm living here. We have majority of the people who live within my neighborhood are British, Caucasian, white. Some of them are from European descent, some of them are Chinese. We have Middle Eastern, Indians, and some Pakistanis as well. Now, when I go to when I drop my kid to school, I meet parents from different nationalities, and you become friends with them. And once you and one time I remember I was speaking with one of my friend, and we were sitting at the cafe, and we were just talking about life in general. Now, he's a white English white Caucasian man in his 40s, and basically we were just sharing our lifestyle, and he was telling me that, Ali, I was born into a very poor family. My family wasn't really there in my initial years. There were a lot of not just poverty, a lot of drug issues. There were a lot of bullying happening with me at school. At that time, I knew that I can't really rely on my family. They were they had my parents had issues with each other, so they completely neglected the family. My teachers weren't there to support me. The government wasn't there. The council wasn't there, and life wasn't really good, was full of issues. And he said, somehow I managed to resolve all of these issues. I got myself educated, I got a job, and finally I started, got married, and started my family as well. Now, one of the desires I have is I want to give my kids a better lifestyle compared to what I had when I was growing up. I'm worried that there are a lot of issues happening around me. For example, in the form, there are drug problems. There is nowadays, especially, there are social media. My kids are listening to these self-described social media influencers, and I don't know how to resolve this issue because they are not really listening to me. Yes, I might be make some wrong decision, but my intention is well. Trust these influencers, and I don't know what to do about it. There are a lot of freedom in our society, and I am all for that freedom, but I don't know how my kids can use that freedom responsibly. So while he was talking about all of these things, I was just listening to him, and I was saying to myself, this guy, he's white, supposed to be the first world citizen, first world UK citizen. His ancestor living in the UK for past many generations, and I was just comparing him with myself, that I just recently came here, just not many years. My parents are not from here. We don't really have same skin color. We have different belief system, different cultural values. I am a bit religious. He is secular and humanistic. But our identity, as father is same. Our desires, our worries, our concerns, our aspiration for our kids are same, and that is something that unites us, that is something that brings us together. So it doesn't really matter what his beliefs are. We have common concerns. Then it gives me hope that we can actually, if we can actually just accept each other, we can sit together and try to resolve the issues we are facing, both as parents, both as fathers. And that really gives me hope that the kind of society I live in, although it is very multicultural, people from different walks of life, but since we have same concerns, we can create same values, we can create similar belief system. He doesn't have to follow my ethnic belief system. I don't have to follow his belief system or values. Together, we can create our own, and in that way we will be able to create a better world for our kids. So when I realized that, it made me feel more acceptable to this diverse community. I feel more proud that I am part of this diverse community where we can actually sit down and talk to each other. Because when you talk to each other, then you realize that yes, you have different beliefs, but how similar you are in terms of certain aspects of your identity as parents, as father, as men, by the way. So these are some of the things I wanted to say. I remember one of the things we were discussing is, there's just too much freedom. He was talking about something similar, how that yes, individualism is good, that freedom is good, everyone has a right to make his own or her own decision, but there should be some guidelines, and those guidelines should come from family, and I was all for that. I don't want my kids to listen or get influenced by people whom I don't know, whom they don't even know. I want them to learn these things from their family. And when I saw that he shared the same feelings, automatically felt more acceptable and happy that somehow we can manage to resolve our differences and live in a better society for the sake of our kids. So this is something I wanted today to discuss that with you guys, and I hope you learned something useful, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.